Warning: the following broadcast features thoughts, ideas, and opinions you might find offensive. If you're easily angered, insulted, hurt, provoked, outraged, or annoyed, the following may offend you. The views expressed in this show are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of YouTube or Google. So please, don't flag this video. Viewer discretion is advised.
There you are. Don't worry, Vicky, you're here. Hi, friends. We had a glitch in the middle of that. Vicky just called back in. That was so funny. I'm like, is she going to be here or not? I don't know. Thanks for joining us today, Vicky.
Yeah, no problem. By mild, I mean major panic attack when I saw the screen go, thanks for joining.
I'm so sorry. I think there's an update with this, the software we use, by the way, guys. Obviously starting off to a very professional start. Welcome to Does This Offend You? This is what live streams are like. You guys probably know that by now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I have the lovely Nightmare Maven, Vicky. If you have not checked out her channel, I'm hoping all the links are down below. I put them in there, so they should be there. So definitely check out her channel, one of my favorites. And today we're talking about Satanism, but it's hard because this is both these films are from 2019, so it's pretty modern take and it's a lot more lighthearted. It's a kind of, they're both horror comedies. We're talking about God, Vicky's frozen. No, you're back. Okay, we're talking about Satanic Panic and We Summon the Darkness. Let me know if, okay, someone says looks and sounds great, but we will see. God. Because Vicky's jumping all over the place for me, but could be my internet as well.
I mean, as long as it looks and sounds great to them, that's we can deal with the rest, I suppose. Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hail Satan, says Carlos. Yes, I believe that is correct. Hey guys, hey everyone. I'm seeing a lot of names I know here. Hi. Oh my God! First, yes. Wait,
Hi,
is this the first? Is the first Does This Offend You of the year? I'm like, wait, is it? It's January. Of course it is.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Happy New Year, guys. It's we don't ever stop around
Happy
here.
New Year.
Did you take any time off for Christmas, Vicky?
I work in retail.
Well, I mean,
what
your
is
channel.
This time off for Christmas?
Yeah, I know. But you did content through December, right?
Yeah, except for the last week. Yeah.
It's
so
I
did,
remember now.
It feels like it was 2 months ago.
It does. That's why it's hard to, I forget that we're in a new year now. So yeah, welcome everyone. I hate horror comedies. What did someone say? I hate horror comedies. But Satanic Panic was actually amazing. Seeing a bit of a glitch with Vicky's video, but sounds good. Okay, yeah, I think I'm seeing it too, but the show must go on.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what it is. Sorry.
I don't know if it's my internet. I feel bad. Okay, well, hopefully it will work itself out as we go on. So, Vicky, where do we want to start?
Yeah, I don't know, since these are about pretty much the same thing and came out the same year. I don't know which one we want to actually. Let me drop your poll in the chat really quick,
yeah,
though.
good point. So we do have a Twitter poll if you guys want to go on there and, select which movie you think is more believable or less believable. I forget how I worded it. You can read the question. And if you have any comments on that, you can also...
More believable.
Okay, there you go. If you have any comments on that kind of concept of it, of what's more believable and why, you can also comment on the poll and we'll read that at the end to discuss. Okay, yeah, where do we want to start? I mean, it's hard for these two films because we wanted to tackle the modern portrayal of Satanists. So, and these films, although they have very different storylines, our wording or our notes on both of the films are quite similar. It can kind of overlap, so it doesn't really matter which one we start on. Does anyone have any ideas?
Yeah.
No? Everyone's just... Nope. Should we just go for...
Do a Satan face for
Satan.
Satanic Panic and a Satan face for We Summon the Darkness.
Yeah, which one? I don't know.
Hold on, oh my gosh. Can I scroll normally?
I
Did
know,
we both write Satanic Panic notes first? We could
I
go
think
Satanic
so.
Panic
Yeah, I
first.
think that's what I was gonna say, because we have so many notes like first up, because we had a lot to get out about the
Yeah.
I guess the betrayal. I also want to say, I'm not sure, I didn't see, I may have seen at the start, sorry, all of the comments kind of flood through. I'm having glitchiness on my computer. Oh, there he is. DC Carter. So DC Carter is a member of the Satanic Temple. I believe that's the correct one. Please correct me if I'm wrong, DC Carter. So we do have a resident modern Satanist in here to correct us with anything. But all of the Satanism we talk about is from like the 80s, and yeah. So I think we should do Satanic Panic first, because Gavin said so, and we both wanted to.
Okay.
And there's so many devils, so I think you guys all agree.
Sounds like a plan to me.
You're right.
Okay, I didn't actually write a summary for these, so I'm gonna wing it.
Okay. I can. Do you want me
These
to go
are pretty
for it?
easy to describe. I mean,
Do you want me to try?
yeah. Do you want to try? Sure.
Oh my
Go
god, why did I say that? So Satanic Panic is from 2019.
You offered.
Director, not too sure. I haven't got any of the page up. My computer is glitching out. Wow, it's really bad. My computer is like frozen. Let's hope it doesn't glitch. I don't want to open IMDb. Where's my phone? Let me, sorry guys, this is real profesh. I'm just gonna open IMDb on my phone because I don't want to touch anything else on my computer. 1 second. Satanic Panic is from 2019. It's
Maybe
directed by Chelsea Stardust. I knew this. I just said this on the video. Chelsea Stardust, and it follows Sam. Sam is a newly employed pizza girl and delivery girl, and she is quirky, and people think she's a little bit naive, and that comes to fruition when she delivers a pizza into a satanic neighborhood full of what I will call, you'll see, satanic Karens, and gets herself a front row seat to a sacrifice. That was the worst blurb I've ever fucking done. I'm so sorry. She's a pizza girl. Her name's Sam. That's all you need to know.
Brilliantly done.
Thanks. Oh my god, my computer's actually this is not good.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Are you there?
I know it's lagging, guys. Just bear with us. Or bear with me if it's mine that's lagging. Just as long as you guys can hear me, it's fine. I don't care if I lag. As long as the sound's okay.
I'll come back, computer.
Oh no, now it's lagging on my end.
Sorry. Oh, far out. Are you there?
It's okay.
Okay, good.
All
sorry.
Good.
I turned off my...
I think we made one too many Satan jokes this week leading up to...
I turned off my my additional monitor because I thought that might be causing lag. So then my whole screen went black, and that was a really fun moment for everyone involved. So I'm going to try and...
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. I'm so sorry we're having so many things. This is a new year, new us, new year.
Sometimes this happens, guys. It's okay.
Okay, so jumping in, where do you want to start with this, Vicky? Where do you want to start?
That's a good question, because I feel like we both wrote a whole lot about this book.
Yeah, so should we just dive into that?
Which I don't know if you want to jump right into that first.
I think we need to.
Talk about like the movie stuff first.
Well, with what I talk about, portrayal of Satanism. Oh no, you're right. The origins. Okay, no, let's start with the origins. So I'll get into my bit, and then you, because your bit kind of like bounces off that. because I have like a really
Okay.
standard explanation under my oranges bit. Okay, so this film, I mean, this film is very lighthearted, so don't get us wrong. If you haven't seen It Does Offend You before, we like to reach. We're all about reaching. We're not about surface level, just for the fun kind of stuff. We like to look into the what could be deemed offensive topics and taboos and all that kind of stuff. That's the whole point of it, by the way. And usually we were not offended. We just like to look into that stuff and get like a deeper idea of what's going on. So it's a lot of reaching. So if we're reaching, it's totally fine, and we usually enjoy the films regardless. And also, we should have said spoilers, intense spoilers for both films. So we're going to spoil the films if you have not seen them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the film is, I mean, I did touch on earlier. I will get into this a little bit later, but the film, this one is called Satanic Panic. Although with We Summon the Darkness, I do think that the name should be switched, because the other one really does handle Satanic Panic a little bit more, and this one's a little bit more broad and just the idea of Satanism, like overall. But nothing in this film is kind of meant to be accurate towards any form of Satanism, which is kind of the joke of it. The whole idea is that they are portraying Satanists as complete opposite to what they usually are. And I'll get into some examples of that in a bit, but we do want to cover the origins of Satanic Panic because it's very important, which was a panic brought in on oh, thank you so much, DC Carter, for your blood sacrifice. I'm like, I have no idea what we call it anymore. Thank you so much. So this panic was brought in the 80s in America, and it spread to Canada. There's cases in the UK. The whole background is very extensive. There's a lot to read about it because there's so many different cases and so many different origins. But the main origin is said to be set off by this book called Michelle Says, which is co-written by a Canadian psychiatrist, Lawrence. How did you say his last name? Pazder. And his patient, who is Michelle Smith, and his future wife. They got married. Creepy. That's so creepy. And this was used to discredit the practice of recovery memory therapy, to make sweeping claims about Satanist rituals abusing Smith. And the lead in this, what I thought was interesting about this film, it does wrap back in, is that the lead Satanist in this movie's name is Michelle. I don't know if that's just coincidence. I just thought that was really funny when I was reading that. And I'm going to let Vicky talk a bit. She gets a bit more into this with her notes, as she does, because I was reading her notes and I was getting really interested in this book called Michelle Says. And so much so that I'm like, I want to read this, because I don't know if you guys know, I have a couple of like oddity books. I really like strange kind of, I wish I could pull that. I mean, I've got a first edition copy. I don't know if it's first edition. I've got Sybil here, which is kind of similar in a way, because it's like about the therapy and it was all fake, all that kind of stuff. I have a lot of Scientology stuff, but I get really into this kind of stuff. Love propaganda. Propaganda is like, absolutely love it. And this, I was like, man, this sounds amazing. I really want to read this, like what she thinks happened. And I looked it up on Amazon to get a copy, and then I found this. And I was like, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to spend $500 on this. And look at the, like, it is.
But look how fast you can get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's normal Australian times. That's not even bad. So if anyone has a copy laying around that they want to share with me, send it this way. My PO box is on my Instagram. I thought that was really funny. Anyway, Vicky, take it away.
Okay, so yeah, like Emma said, the book. Did I get the title wrong? I had it Michelle Remembers before I started saying it. And
Wait, I just put it up.
Was it Michelle Says?
No, she got it. Michelle Remembers. Why did I put Michelle Says?
Oh, okay.
Maybe
you said it, and I was like, oh god, I wrote down the.
No, that's a
I
good.
wrote down the wrong title the whole time.
Wow, why did I write that? I'm sorry, I'm gonna look that up because I'm like, is that my dyslexia or is that like some other storm? Okay, sorry, no,
I
you
mean,
keep
it's
going.
still if that's just a completely other book that also happens to be about Satanism.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Thanks for correcting
Okay.
me. Go for it.
Yep. No, 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 you're okay. You're okay. I just wanted to make sure I had the title right because I got paranoid. Um, okay, so like Emma was talking about, Michelle Remembers is a book that was pretty much brought about from this psychiatrist and Michelle being his patient, and this kind of what you called it, regressive memory therapy,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Yeah. Um,
Regression.
of this childhood trauma that Michelle supposedly experienced at the hands of her mother and a bunch of other people who she thought were Satanists. There's a couple of videos on YouTube you can look up, like people who have like read this book and are like breaking down some of the things that like Michelle claims in the book, like specific events. um would highly recommend watching them. It's fascinating to hear like all the like crazy things that supposedly happened to her. A lot of them were debunked like almost immediately, like by easy stuff, like she attended school during these periods of time where supposedly she was like being held hostage and things like that. So like the math just didn't math. So that, things just didn't add up. But and a lot of people also suspected that it was um not necessarily like Pastor's fault, but he may have like been kind of leading her on while she was under hypnosis and obviously very suggestible and like asking leading questions that
Mm-hmm.
it's easy just to say yes or no to,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of planting this stuff in
Mm-hmm.
her head. So like to an extent she like thought she was
Mm.
remembering it,
It's
but
like making a murderer.
it didn't seem like right. Yes,
It's a good
exactly.
example. For people who might be familiar with that,
Exactly.
it's a great example of that.
Yeah. Making a Satanist. It's part two of that.
That's a
But
good
there's like it's
title. Someone write that down.
um I would highly recommend looking up. I'll pull up a video and put it in the chat in a second of one girl who breaks it down because it's like just crazy to listen to the stuff that's in this book. It spanned, like it just blew up everywhere. Like Pastor and Michelle like went all around the country doing like talk shows, and it even got to the point where law enforcement was using the information in this book like on cases, like people claiming other people were part of a satanic cult. They were using this book as like informational material, which just
Mm.
um fun little try to the real world I wrote down here. Pastor at one time claimed the Church of Satan was responsible for Michelle's abuse. The Church of Satan, not the Satanic Temple. Just that's two different things. Um, until he was threatened with a lawsuit by Anton LaVey. Um, and also, again, the math just didn't math with stuff like that because the Church of Satan was founded in like 1966, and the supposed events in Michelle's story took place like 10 years before that. So, um,
Mm.
but they were really like fishing for that publicity. I think the real important part why we, or I guess why I focused on this so much, because I really wrote a lot about this, is a little bit I went down a rabbit hole. Um, was the effect of this on the Satanic Panic movement. And I have a quote from Dr. Pastor, which I think fits this discussion well. So he was asked in an interview, does it matter if it was true, or does the fact that Michelle believed it happened to her the most important thing? And Pastor said, and I quote, "Yes, that's right. It is a real experience. If you talk to Michelle today, she will say that's what I remember. We we still leave the question open. For her, it was very real. Every case I hear about, I have skepticism. You have to complete a long course of therapy before you can come to conclusions. We're all eager to prove or disprove what happened, but in the end, it doesn't matter." Which was the
Doesn't
the
that
key part of
remind?
this quote that really kind of blew my mind, because it does.
Yeah, it does for sure. But
Because it does matter, because the
doesn't that
influence of
remind
this
you of?
book, like
Harry Potter, like Dumbledore, like when Harry's like, isn't Harry like, but how do I know all of this is actually happening? And he's like, it is because you think it is. It just reminds me of that. Do you know what I'm talking
Like,
about?
yeah, just because it's happening in your head doesn't make it any less real or
Yes,
something like that.
exactly.
Oh my god.
That's where
I love that
JK
you
got
love that
it's all
your
making
brain
sense
made
now.
that
But it's all
connection.
making sense now. That's what's wrong with JK Rowling taking the source material from the book that started Satanic Panic.
Oh my god.
Sorry, triggered everybody. Sorry, guys.
You're okay. It's okay.
Oh god.
That was just too funny.
Yeah. But you're right. That's a crazy quote. That's an absolutely
But that just
insane
like blows
quote.
my mind because he was like, but in the end it doesn't matter.
It kind of does
Yeah.
because it
Because it
affected
does
a lot of
matter.
people. Yeah.
Literal like law enforcement was using this book.
But it also sparked a lot because like that book
Exactly. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, that's how
starts
real
panic.
people were arrested and jailed.
But did you hear some of the stories about like years ago when I was looking into this, there was like stories about how like these kids were tortured by these you know, because a lot of it has to do with being at you like nurseries, what do you call them? Like childcare facilities. And
Daycare, yeah.
yeah, and they talk about how a lot of kids thought that there was a pool of sharks. Have you heard about the sharks thing? That they were getting fed to sharks?
I don't remember sharks, but I remember stuff like they saw like people being like dismembered and
Yeah.
like stuff about like dead rabbits and things like that, or like them killing animals in front of them and
Yeah, there was interesting the rabbits thing because that is in this movie.
just stuff that like wouldn't like. Oh yeah, the two fluffy bunnies. Yeah, I don't know if that was if that they did that intentionally. But yeah, but it's just like it was like wild stuff that I was like, there's no way that could have happened without somebody else noticing.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure. But some of the kids were led down. Oh yeah, you know something bad happened to you. Tell us about something bad that happened to you. And like the fact that there was so little and like they couldn't even like conceptualize what exactly they were trying to be led to believe. They would say things like, "Oh, there was a pool of sharks and they were dangling us over," like just this incredible like crazy stuff. Thank you so much for your blood sacrifice. I don't know how to pronounce it. Lennox? How would you say that? I've been oh my god, since 2016 I suggested you review Splinter for 31 days. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you so much. You've been around forever. Thanks.
Thank you.
Splinter is a good movie too. So thanks for the recommendation. That's really nice of you. Thank you for your blood sacrifice nightmare fuel.
Blood sacrifice.
We just got to call it like a name together now.
Yeah, because that'll help us remember it.
Oh, and thank you, Danny D. I love you guys. So happy to catch you all live. Thank you so
Danny.
much. And sorry for the technical difficulties. I really appreciate everyone bearing with us. If you need to just close your eyes and listen to us, if that helps.
We should just do it as a podcast and save ourselves the.
That's what people want. People have asked that. I can't do that, guys.
Really?
Yeah, people have asked.
Huh.
I guess it technically is. It's like long form. What is a podcast anymore? I feel like it can be so many different things. But yeah, I don't really want to be responsible with putting that on another platform, to be honest.
It could be anything you want it to be.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to go back to the portrayal of Satanism at the start of my notes. Is that cool with you,
True
Vicky?
story.
That cool with you? Yep, good.
Yes, it is. Take it away.
I feel like I've got delay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I must have cut me out. I answered. I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Okay, so Sam in the film, who is the main character, we way back when we were talking about the film, Sam, the main character of the film, she is the pizza delivery girl, and she calls out the portrayal of Satanists actually in this film quite early on. When she first gets to the party and goes inside, someone's like, "You can't be here." And someone, I think it's that same person, tells her that they are Satanists, and she goes, "You must think I'm younger than I look. My neighbor's a Satanist and a vegan," which I love. Which shows like the true nature of the film, that it's all about like they're very self-aware, or just aware in general of what like modern day Satanism is. And I guess this, like, I'm going to get into a little bit deeper. So, DC, Carter, please chime in, or anyone who's actually a Satanist, chime in and let me know. Because obviously there's several different strains. Probably shouldn't say strains this time, but there's several different types of Satanism. And I think in this one, Satanic Panic, anyone who believes in Satanists, torturing virgins and all that kind of stuff that comes along in this film, did not read the 11 commandments, and I'm talking about the 11 commandments which are like the LaVey Satanism commandments, and these are like it's like the older, more classic, I guess, version of Satanism. So these aren't even like the tame, I guess, yeah, the tame, more about equality, which is what, you know, modern Satanism is about, equality. So I just want to read this because I'm not sure if everyone has heard these. They probably have come across them if you're into horror. Sorry, I'm like jumping all over this place. But yeah, they're not anything like the new Satanism movement, which is, you know, Satanic Temple, which is often talked about, Hail Satan, all that kind of stuff, which is a movie, by the way. I'm not just throwing out a Hail Satan there. And they're all about fighting for equal rights in religion. I should probably say Hail Satan. And even the Satanic Temple's tagline is literally empathy, reason, and advocacy. But LaVeyan Satanism is a little bit more controversial, and the 11 rules are, warning, some are very harsh, but most of them are pretty good. Number 1, do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. I love that. Number 2, do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. 3, when in another's home, show them respect, or else do not go there. 4, if a guest in your home annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy. 5, do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. 6, do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to another person, and then cry out to be relieved. 7, acknowledge the power. Okay, this is a little bit spooky here. 7, acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desires. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all you have obtained. Don't do that one, guys. It sounds spooky. 8, do not complain about anything which you need not subject yourself. 9, do not harm little children. Hello, Satanic Panic. Are you in the building? 10, do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. And 11, when walking in an open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask him to stop. If he does not stop, destroy him. That's a little bit harsh.
Destroy him.
Okay, but by these rules, so if we're talking about like classic, I mean, I keep calling it classic, but like LaVeyan Satanism. Oh God, we've lost Vicky. We'll wait till she calls back. Vicky's peaced out. Okay, but by these rules, she's calling back. You're back. You're back for good, Vicky. I think this definitely proves it's your internet, not mine. Vicky had to leave because if someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If not, destroy them. So by these rules in LaVeyan Satanism, I guess most of the characters in this film do go against all of these rules. They offer up Sam to have sex All of these are pretty much wrong, except for number 4. Number 4 actually plays into the film really well, because it's if a guest in your home annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy. And Sam is a little bit annoying. She's the pizza girl. She gets there, she doesn't get a tip, and then she completely, like, she just keeps asking everyone to chip in for this tip. Which, I mean, it's very different here, because, like, we don't have tipping culture. Pay people a fair wage. It's a little bit different. So they don't have to worry about going around and, like, breaking into people's houses. But, like, I guess in a way it would have been really cool, I thought, if this film took those 11 rules and actually worked towards them and not against them, and, like, found, like, the loopholes or the cracks in the system. I thought that would have been really clever, but instead they kind of just go against all of the rules of Satanism. So once again, it's not my whole point. It's not really portrayed correctly, which we knew, because they've made the joke about that before the film even started, or, like, on the way to, like, the main attraction. And instead they show these Satanists as upper class snobby white women who reek of Karen. They benefit off the dark art to get what they want, and in turn and the reason for this is their status. So they say that they the reason that they have everything and people have nothing is because of Satanism, and using this to their own advantage. So yeah, it's a lot. This is definitely meant to be down the other side, but it's a lot. Sorry, I've just realized something else. There you go. There's my soapbox for now. Vicky, over to you.
Just adjusting your notes there. It's okay. All good.
Yeah, I just realized. I'm like, that's meant to be on the
I thought since you're talking about their portrayal of Satanism and the Karens, which they definitely are, they yell at retail employees on the regular. I found it interesting because you mentioned, I don't disagree with you, but you mentioned like you feel like We Summon the Darkness should have been the one called Satanic Panic, because when we think of Satanic Panic, we think of, like, the 80s phenomenon. That's usually what we go to. That's what my brain goes to. But I think this portrayal is super interesting, as this one is set in modern day, whereas when we get to We Summon the Darkness, that's actually set in the 80s. But this one just seems like the new Satanic Panic, because I feel like it hasn't really ended. It's just transformed into something else. It's no longer like the
Oh, Vicky, please stay with us. Vicky.
metalhead or the Satanist. It's what?
Sorry, you froze.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Just start that sentence again. Oh, fuck. Vicky. Guys, this has never happened before, but it keeps happening. Oh my gosh. Why? Sorry, guys. I can't take over. She's in the middle of a spiel. I appreciate you all being here. Let me know if it's okay, everything else on your side. Oh, Vicky. What is happening? If there was not proof of Satan before, now there is.
I don't know. Seriously, there's nothing that I can see that I can figure out why it's doing it, because it's clearly a me issue.
Oh god.
I don't know what the fuck it is. Sorry, I'm just playing the chat again. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's a new drinking game.
Oh god.
Take a shot every time I disappear from the live.
Yeah. Every time she's summoned by Satan. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
You got
Okay,
your
I'm just glad you didn't hear what I said as soon as it went out.
Oh, thank you so much,
Okay.
Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren.
Woke
Thank you, Lauren,
Satanist.
for your blood sacrifice.
Zachary, what the heck? Chill out. Thank you so much, Lauren. I'm just... This is the symbol.
Thank you.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. Satan is cancelling Vicky.
Okay.
Okay, you can recover? Can you...
I hope not. Yeah, I hope so. I was just asking if you had heard me before when I was freezing, at least, so I don't have to.
I heard up
Do I need to go all the way
until
back?
you were getting into it. I'm trying to find. Just start where you're at. We'll figure it out.
Okay. As long as it. Okay, yeah. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. So as I was saying, Satanic Panic has transformed. I don't think it's ever really gone away. And I feel like this movie kind of reflects that, because I feel like nowadays the Satanic Panic, as it were, is like the batshit like QAnon conspiracies about like the global elite and like super duper rich who are like trafficking children to like drink their blood or whatever the theory is now. Like I feel like it's this like the same exact scare, just tweaked a little bit, and it's more suspecting the uber rich, which definitely is represented in this movie.
Yeah, no, I really like that point. I think for me, because it's so like dressed up by the Satanism, maybe that point doesn't drive home that it's like the wealthy versus the pizza gal. But I get what you're saying. Like I think that's yeah, that's a really great point. My sacrifice is to keep Vicky online. We're all trying, guys. We've spoken about the origins. I do have one thing that is quite intense about this film. I mean, I really try to get to the core of virgin sacrificing, because I couldn't figure out where that was, as everyone does. My boyfriend came in today. I was like having breakfast in here, and he's like, no, I'm like, excuse me, I'm just trying to look up virgin sacrifices. Can you because it's interesting with human sacrifices. Like it obviously goes back to human sacrifices, and then most like text for virgin sacrifices comes from the Bible, and yeah, all different stories throughout history. But I cannot see the connection in Satanism at all. But I could be not reading the right text, because there's a lot out there. But with the 11 rules that we went through before, obviously there would not be a way of sacrificing virgins. I would go against the rule number, whatever, I've written it down here. Sorry, it will go against rule number 5 and 6. And 5 is do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. And 6, do not take what does not belong to you, which would be her virginity, if you want to look at it that way, and which is a pretty barbaric way of looking at it, but you know what I mean. You get the point. Also, what I thought was very interesting about this thing was the fact that they put eyeshadow on her for when she was going to be, R-worded by Baphomet. They put the blue eyeshadow, so I was trying to find that in any texts because that made no sense. I just can't imagine like knocking these two girls out, and when they're tying them down, they're like, let's put some makeup on them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which I thought was really funny. I mean, it's just fun. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything, but it was just a very interesting detail how they had to change her look for that ceremony, let's say. After all of that, I would say there is something that could be deemed offensive in this movie, and it's the tone that they have. This is going to be demonetized, but the tone that they have about rape in this. There's a lot of sexual harassment in this movie that is kind of like laughed off or like funny in a way. It's a goofy, obviously it's a goofy comedy horror, but it does have a lot of like strange undertones. So at the very start, Sam's co-worker who got her the job says that she owes him and calls her his girlfriend. She like keeps like kind of swatting away his advances, and it's very obvious that she's uncomfortable. So obviously that's more the harassment. Then Samuel Ross, played by Jerry O'Connell, literally forces himself onto Sam and says that he has to have sex with her so that she's not a virgin anymore to save her from Satan, and said, I'm going to save you from Satan. And she's trying to escape, and they're like having a fight. It's literally like a sexual assault scene. he says, I'm going to save you whether you like it or not. So I mean, like, there's no if, buts, or what. It is what it is. And then when she runs into the neighbor's house and like befriends the other girl in it, she says, like, someone literally just tried to rape me. So like it's very much there. And then of course, you know, Baphomet actually impregnates her, so that it does happen. So it's just very interesting the way that is tackled in this kind of like comedy horror, I thought. Yeah, I mean, again, we're digging deep. Everything else, it's just very strange for a lighthearted film to kind of like deal with that on the surface.
Yeah,
so very interesting.
You froze a little bit. Oh God. Are
you okay, Vicky?
Don't kick me. Okay.
No,
Sorry, I was just praying to Satan for a second.
I think I've done all mine on the first.
Get kicked from the live stream.
I've done all mine on Satanic Panic. Do you have any more?
No, that was all of mine.
Cool. Should we dive into
mostly about that book?
The Satan. Okay, let's. Oh yeah, of course. The Satanic Temple. So yeah, I remember that. No, that's a good point. I totally forgot about that.
Oh yeah. For the statue, yeah.
Okay, should we jump into We Summon the Darkness? Do you want to give it a go with the? Good luck.
Yes, but first we find Satanic Panic, the movie, offensive.
No, not at all. I think it's a joke. It's meant to be a joke. And Sam is pretty lovable. That's Sam in the middle of us, by the way. Here. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
I agree. I agree. It's a fun, goofy movie, even with those dark R-word undertones. But yeah, you're right. It's meant to be a joke on it. So it's just dunking on them, the whole movie. So I agree. Not offensive. Okay, we summon the darkness. So we summon the darkness. Shit. You know what? And it follows Beverly and her two friends who are on their way to see a metal show where they meet three guys.
Oh my God. I was waiting for that to happen, to be honest. The internet is just wild today. Okay, so We Summon the Darkness follows three friends who are on the way to a metal show, and they meet up with three other guys, and upon meeting them, they decide... Vicky, coming back. Hang on one second. Hey, Vicky.
Topic again.
I think I got as far as you did anyway. Hello, world-class Satanists. So they meet these three guys, and they go back. I mean, I'm going to do spoilers, guys. They go back to their house to hang out with them, and it's then revealed, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This is going to be a big spoiler because it's a really good twist, that they actually have been participating in... what do you call it? Advertising for their church by the different people across the country have been, I guess across the state maybe, have been committing crimes and framing Satanists for them in order to sway people into their church. And later in the film, it's revealed that Johnny Knoxville is the father of like the main ringleader. And he's also been embezzling money and, all that good stuff, that good Christian stuff. So I do love Christianity, so don't get me wrong, but it's pretty funny in this film. And I mean, yeah, we don't even actually know what exact religion they follow. But anyway, so that's kind of the gist of it, I would say. Hopefully I got that right. I was trying to pick up where you left off, but I have no idea. Did you want to start?
Sounded great, and it does. Yeah, that's that about covers it. God.
Oh, thank you so much for your sacrifice. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Rob.
there it is. Okay, yeah, mine was delayed a little bit. Thank you.
Sacrifice for Vicky.
Sacrifice.
Everyone needs to keep donating. It's funny because like you do the pasta embezzling. Everyone, you need to keep donating right now in order for Vicky to stay with us. Oh my god, that sounds really creepy.
Oh god. Just take out the 4 in that. Just sacrifice Vicky. Like
I think she's trying. She's trying to stay with us. Did you want to start this one off while you're strong in here before you fade away again?
Jesus Christ. I hope so. Oh, okay. So since we revealed the twist already about the church, I guess I can talk about that because I really like that twist. I feel like I don't know, like reading all the Satanic Panic stuff, like about the 80s, like it just seems so plausible that I'm not saying that's what happened just for with this, but it seems so plausible in the movie though because like there's so many things. Like I was watching a video.
Fuck me. What are we gonna do, guys? What are we fucking gonna do? I was waiting as soon as she started glitching out because I can see exactly what you guys can see, and it's just this is not good. I'm like trying to get through. What do you guys want to do? Should we just keep trying to get through to the end? I'm so sorry. This is the first time. This is our 44th episode, and this is the first time this has ever happened. Absolutely insanity. Here she comes. Here she comes, Miss America. Hey Vicky, nice of you to join us.
Like I'm scared to talk now.
Keep going. I won't say anything.
Ah, Jesus Christ. All right. What was I talking about? The church, right? I'll just talk really fast. So I was watching a video online that was about like Satanism for law enforcement. That was the whole point of the video, like how to spot Satanism. And it was legitimately like propaganda. Like they had a pastor on there talking about all the symbols that you got to look out for as law enforcement. And one of them that sticks out to me because it's always in these movies is the upside down cross, which is literally that's the difference between a crucifix, which is bad if it's upside down. An upside down cross is not actually satanic.
I don't know if you can see it. I have it tattooed on the back of my neck. I don't know if you can see it on this camera. I can't tell.
Yeah, I came out.
You can?
Came out.
Yeah, it's a cross of St. Peter.
I can see it. Yes,
But I can't
exactly.
see shit. I'm like looking at the magnified side. There you go.
Yeah, it comes out.
There you go. There you go, guys. Let's learn something new about it every day.
That was just an example because it just seems so plausible in this movie that they're like taking this information and twisting it for their own benefit, which is clearly what they're doing because it's like that's not a satanic symbol, but it's like literally in every movie ever.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a great point.
Okay, I feel like I said it all. Hopefully. I'm just scared it's gonna cut me off again.
Me too. I'm like waiting every moment there's a silence. I'm like, yeah.
I know.
Okay, I mean, I have two big points for this one. Number one being
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. Don't apologize for anything. Oh yeah, I forget there is a photo of it on my Instagram. Thanks, Jordan. I totally forgot about that. So in this film, obviously we follow like the three three psychotic, I was meant to say psychotic religious girls. And I do say psychotic because they stab and kill someone, okay? You know? It's not like yeah. But my issue, I mean, I guess two of them would be. A funny thing in this is that their whole plot for murder has a reasoning towards it. It's meant to be to save people's souls and to, direct people towards the path of life and, save them. But it doesn't actually make any sense because
Yeah.
I guess when you watch the movie, if you've seen it, you know that like the two girls are really strong in their conviction and they're like having a fucking ball. They're drunk, they're just saying crazy shit and they're just having fun with it, you know? And then the other girl kind of turns back and realizes that what she's doing is not right. They force the third girl to drink alcohol, which obviously must be against some, I'm assuming, like, you know what I mean? I know that it's fine to drink the blood of, you know, whatever, but I'm talking about wine. But I just think it was really weird that, you know, two Christian would force sorry. I have such a weird, warped, like, sense of humor about religion. But I want to say, if you are a Christian watching this, please, I'm so sorry if I do offend you because that is not my intention. I'm just really jokey. And I really do think that most parts of religion are pretty beautiful and I'm very interested by them. Hence my Scientology shit, which, I mean, like, let's not get into that because that's going to get me in hot water. But in this film, it's very interesting because we're meant to see these girls as that's their motive for this. But at the same time, why are they forcing alcohol upon their friend? Why are they getting drunk to do it? They're fucking around with like fire. They're literally torturing the guys instead of just what they could have done is, you know, drug them and kill them and you know, set it up and it to be like a more of a clinical kind of situation instead of this whole fun let's go to a metal show, get these guys and like frame them and do all this kind of stuff. Like it was just very strange the way it came to be, their attitude towards it, because it did not seem like holy the way that they were doing. They were not, you know, they didn't have the spirit with them. And I thought it was also really interesting that the third girl who goes against her two friends, she has like a lot of empathy towards them, and she actually says like, you know, they're brainwashed and it's not their fault that they're brainwashed when they're doing these kinds of things. And I think that she can actually see it from like a broader perspective of when people get, you know, into religion and do things that hurt others, that they can, you know, it is because they're brainwashed, especially these young girls, you know what I mean, and her father's like the pastor and all that kind of stuff. So it was just interesting to see that level of empathy coming from the person who's from the outside in a way. So I thought it was just really interesting. I kind of liked the way they framed the characters, but of course, like if their whole idea was that they were doing this for a reason, for a higher power or whatever, it doesn't really make any sense with the way that they acted. I hope that makes sense.
No, it definitely it makes sense. I mean, I feel like their group is kind of they don't establish it, and like you said, we don't really know where like what branch of Christianity they're a part
Yeah.
of or like what they call themselves or anything. But it's like their group name though does sound very culty. It's like Daughters of something,
I don't remember what it
right?
was, but I know what you mean. But I mean, Johnny Knoxville, like the way he's set
Yeah.
up on TV, it is very much like meant to be paying into those kinds of. It's not like
Yeah.
a straight form or anything like that. Yeah,
Yeah. It feels very culty. But
yeah,
I think Beverly's a good character for that because you get the idea right away that she hasn't been there as long.
no, and she
Well,
says,
definitely not as
sorry,
sorry, go ahead.
no, you definitely not as. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say definitely not as long as the daughter.
Yeah, and she does say when they're playing the Never Have I Ever game, that she stole food, and it seems like she had it hard. And then they call her the runaway. Like Johnny Knoxville says, oh, you said that she was ready. Oh, the runaway, da da da. So obviously, I think she's searching for something, and she realizes, which I mean, good for her. Like that takes a lot of I guess like self-reflection to really understand what's going on when you don't have, like, if she is a runaway and she doesn't have anything else to cling to. Those are the people who usually do cling to cults and religion, you know, like that's what we see in Charles Manson's, you know, that's like the family, that's
Yeah.
Helter Skelter. If you've, you know, like the book and all that kind of stuff, it's all about love bombing and being brainwashed really easily because you're trying to find your spot in society. So for her to be on the outs and actually understand that, I guess maybe she just wasn't ready to participate, as we find out. But I think she's just a really cool character.
Yeah.
And I like the way the film ends as well, in an open way, that there could be a second one, because they kind of just escape and nothing's really done. They're probably on the run from Johnny Knoxville and the gang. jackass coming up to them.
Johnny Knoxville in the gang.
Yeah.
It was so weird seeing him in this movie because he doesn't. I don't think he really cracks a single joke
Mm.
in it, and I feel like I was expecting. Oh no, I froze.
No, you're here. I can
Oh,
see
here it
you.
goes.
Bye, Vicky. Is she gone?
Yeah.
No, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Oh no.
You're all right. You're there. I can see you.
I'm not gonna talk about Satan anymore. Or Johnny Knoxville, I guess.
Okay, I need to see what you have on here. You're a poor Vicky. I feel so bad for you. Well, do you want to talk about your point on this before I get into my last point on it? Because I'll save that just in case you disappear.
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try. Um, um, yeah, so I mean the only other thing I had was just that since this movie is set in the 80s and like as horror fans, we can conceptualize that. We recognize the influence of like politics in 80s horror movies with like the slasher movies, like the pure virginal girl is the survivor, all the heathens who have sex and smoke and whatever and drink all die, like the rise of the Reagan right during the 80s. So I mean it again just fitting for the movie where you have these evangelical or like televangelists like groups and pastors creating this scenario in which they're framing Satanists to further push that point of like, the conservative way is the right way or this way is the right way, in order to get more donations for them, which I mean that goes into a whole big thing, I guess, especially in the United States with politics. But I just thought that was again interesting the way they framed it, and to me it makes it more believable. Like if you fed me this conspiracy theory that that's what was happening in the 80s, I'd believe you.
Compared to conspiracy theories right now, it's not actually that unbelievable. Like it really isn't.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Like even when you look up
Exactly.
Satanism on Wikipedia, like so many different things come up, like QAnon comes up. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I had no idea it was all tied in. So like there's all this obviously new stuff, but obviously we won't get into that. That's a lot. But I guess on that, that leads perfectly into my last point about this one, which is the embezzlement. So Johnny Knoxville's character is based on fact, on more fact than any other character in both of these films. Because we've seen, unfortunately, church leaders from all over the world embezzle money for their own gain. Interesting that there's more proof of embezzlement in churches by leaders than there ever was of any satanic killings. But, obviously, like, Satan bad. But that, you know what I mean? Whatever. For this, I know that there's like several different things that have happened, big news stories that have happened with embezzlement in churches. Obviously, the church walls, everyone's very familiar with finding when they found the money inside the church walls, which is that TV show that John Goodman's in kind of like takes off that a little bit. But when I was looking up, I'm like, oh, maybe there's like a list of these kinds of things, and I literally Googled before writing these notes, like pastor embezzlement, and an article came up from an accused person from only 3 hours before. So that's how frequently these people are being found out. And this is a man who is believed to be the pastor, and he turned himself in for embezzling from the Cornerstone Church. I believe it's somewhere in America. And yeah, there's just my point is there's hundreds of cases of this, so it's not very far fetched at all. That's the article that I came up, just so you know, just so I have the record. But yeah, so I think that's actually pretty spot on. And it's an interesting fact that they wanted to throw in there. Obviously, they're trying to make a point. The whole thing is like based on like being hypocritical and doing something for their own gain, and then their own gain is not actually to save the souls, but to get money. And money in this film that he's seen using it for properties, for these like lavish properties all over the world. So very interesting, I thought. I just loved that I like typed that into Google and then it was like, oh, yep, 3 hours ago.
It
I'm
is.
like, okay, sweet. Very fun. But that's all I had for that one. I feel like it was really interesting. These two films came out in the same year. And I wonder if they did fight for that title of Satanic Panic because they both could go so easily under it. And it was really interesting to have two horror comedies with the same kind of subject within, only months away apart from each other being released.
It is. I do wonder now if they fought for that title, but they took it two completely different directions, which I like also, which is interesting because they so easily could have been like the same exact movie.
Exactly. Did you find this one offensive, Vicky?
Nah, I think this movie's super fun. Like I enjoy watching this movie.
I just love the twist when they because they're like all drinking around the fire and then they're like, oh, have you ever poisoned someone? They're like, yep. And they're like, who would you ever have poisoned? And then they realize it's them. It's really cool. But just like the first and the second one, all of the rules are off the table when it comes to, I mean, obviously the second group isn't satanic in the end, but all of the rules that go into LaVeyan Satanism are off the table, and none of this fits any form of Satanism really, and it probably doesn't even fit their 10 commandments, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't fit anything. So I guess it's all kind of a front for religion, no matter which way you look at it. Oh, thank you so much, Des. I didn't see you here. Hey, Des. Great show, even with all the glitches.
Thank you, Des.
Thanks, Des.
Thank you for your
I appreciate that. Just watching us glitch out over here.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the righteous gemstones. That was the one I was talking about. Cool.
Oh.
Wait, so did you say you were offended? We both said we weren't offended,
Interesting.
Right?
Oh yeah, no, not offended.
No one's offended.
Not offended.
No one's offended. Also,
I just dropped the poll in the chat again. Also,
thanks. The other one...
sorry. Keep going.
No. I was just gonna name. I've totally forgotten its fucking name now. Oh, Saved. I was gonna say one of my favorite, if you guys like fun, kooky religious movies, is Saved. I'm sure you've probably seen it. It's got Mandy Moore, Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it? It's really good. If you're into these kinds of films that are kind of like point out the hypocrisy but still keep it quite light. It's like a comedy film. One of my favorite films though. Growing up, I used to have it on VHS and watch it all the time, which explains why I am the way I am, to be honest. But yes. Do we get everyone go in and check out the poll? I'm about to read the results. You have 1 second. I'm going to pull up the results. So we got 31 votes. Oh, you can hear my screenshot. And we're going to pull up the winners. So, are you ready? With 78%, we have We Summon the Darkness, which is a more believable horror film than Satanic Panic, which I'm not very surprised by because we've just spoke about this. The Johnny Knoxville character. Yeah. I mean, also there's no actual black magic happening. No one gets pregnant and has a baby in 2 seconds. And fluffy bunnies, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm not surprised, but I'm glad you guys were switched on. Some of your comments, I saw there's 2 comments on here. Let's just see what they are. If I can use Twitter, I'm so bad at Twitter. Megan Brown says, I don't know, haven't watched either, but I was just joking. Joe said, I'm sure something like We Summon the Darkness has happened at some point. Well, there we go. Maybe that's what Vicky was saying. Hey?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you all so much for being here today through all of the glitches. I don't know what's going on. Satan was not with us. Or maybe he was. Maybe he really just does not like us talking about him at all.
I would like to believe he wasn't here because I feel like he'd be on our side.
I thought so too, but maybe not. Maybe this is a sign. Make sure you check out Vicky's channel. All of the links down below. One of my favorite YouTube channels, so definitely check it out. And also loved. I know I was late, Vicky, but I loved your video on Pet Cemetery, of course.
Oh,
Because I'm such a fan. Yeah, it was good. And
thank you.
what have you got coming up? What do you want to, or what did you just put out?
I don't even remember what I just put out. Tomorrow, I'll just talk about that one. Tomorrow, I have a discussion video about the last thing Mary saw. It'll have spoilers though, so just
Perfect.
fair warning.
I mean, we had enough time to watch it, so yeah, get on it. I'm excited. And I just put out what I watched this month, which I talk about these two films pretty quickly in it. And I talk about Yellow Jackets and all that kind of stuff, how I felt about them. Totally spoiler free, just a chit chat one. And then in a couple of days, I'll have what's coming to VOD this February, which I'm so excited because Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. Let's hope that it works out for everyone. Maybe, you know what? Maybe if it does work out, we can do a Does This Offend You on it. Did I just name our next Does This Offend You? Maybe. If we ever come back, guys, after this glitchiness.
Okay.
I'm down.
Maybe.
Sure.
Don't say that.
Yeah. We'll be on your channel next time, so we'll see.
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining, everyone.
Everybody pray to whatever God you believe in.
Pray to whatever God, or, just send us some good vibes. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. And thank you for all the thumbs up and all the donations. It means a lot. Thank you for the 1 thumbs down. The engagement also helps, so I appreciate you. And, was that Satan? It's a thumbs down. It was Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, God.
I really appreciate you guys being here.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you soon. If you ever have an idea for Does This Offend You, just, send us a tweet or whatever. We're pretty accessible on all social media, tweet, Instagram, all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for sticking around through the glitches. Sorry, I'm like really trying to take over so it doesn't glitch out for Vicky. Yeah, thank you so much for that, because this has never happened before. Like, we've never had people being kicked during the whole 44 episodes, just today. So you're very special if you were here and witnessed that. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, friends.